On everyone. So obviously, I'm sure by now many of you have heard the reports that the Lakers are pursuing Dejounte Murray, and it looks like Dejounte Murray appears to be the priority at the moment. The Lakers are pushing hard. They have explored several different possibilities and ideas to potentially get to a trade. The Lakers prefer to keep Austin Reeves. The Atlanta Hawks want Austin Reeves. It looks like they want to pair Austin Reeves and Trae Young. That those are kind of the building blocks that they want to use along with Johnson. But the Lakers, look, I have my reservations about Dejounte Murray, but if he was to become a Laker, I would be pumped. I'd be excited for it. I do think he is better than D'Angelo Russell, and I think he's better than Austin Reeves. Just fit is a concern. But if he continues to play the way he's been playing this season, then he would be a real asset for the Lakers. Just the defensive side of things is where he'd have to pick things up. He's really he can't be playing defense the way he is in Atlanta. He's been terrible. But if he can continue to perform offensively the way he has been, and then pick it up on the defensive side, which a new environment, new scenery, playing alongside guys like Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, Anthony Davis, could really kind of light a fire on the defensive side of things for Murray. But as much as I would love Murray, and I'm sure many of you would as well, and whatever other pieces, because again, I've said this before, if the Lakers just get Dejounte Murray and the buck stops there, I don't think that that's enough to turn the Lakers season around. I do think that the Lakers need a Dejounte Murray and whatever those other pieces are. But if the Lakers could get Dejounte Murray, that's a great start. I'm all for it. But how realistic is it that the Lakers can trade for Dejounte Murray? Because, look, it's obvious that they want him. Atlanta seems at least interested to listen to what the Lakers are willing to offer, but Atlanta seems to want Austin Reeves. On top of Austin Reeves, what else is there that is it going to take? Is it going to be Austin Reeves and our only first that we have that's tradable? The Lakers can be creative, right? They have like the top 6 protected from the pick that went to the Utah Jazz. They have like a pick swap. You could kind of work stuff out to make it to where like, okay, we could go get Dejounte Murray and still maybe have some assets. Also, the Lakers could always hit up the Pelicans and kind of, maybe incentivize them to take this year's pick, which could open up other picks. So the Lakers have options, right? They just have to get a little creative. They have to get a little flexible with their ideas here. But even then, the Lakers are still very limited on what they can trade to go get a guy like Dejounte Murray. You got to remember, Atlanta traded 3 firsts and a pick swap for Murray. So it's not like they traded a first-round pick and got him for whatever, and it's like, hey, give us Reeves. We value Reeves as like a first. No, they gave up a lot of assets, and maybe they're willing to take and swallow some of a loss, but I don't imagine that they want to do a huge loss. And you look at teams like the New York Knicks are rumored to want Dejounte Murray. The Philadelphia 76ers could be an option. The Miami Heat are a real viable option. And there's several others that have been rumored and reported, and that's just the guys that we know about, right? What about the teams that maybe come out of the woodworks, right? We've seen that twice now, once with Donovan Mitchell, right, where it looked like he was headed to the Knicks, and boom, here come the Cavs. Happened with Damian Lillard. We thought he was going to the Miami Heat, and then boom, here comes the Milwaukee Bucks. The issue is, and I've talked about this from day one, the more competition, the least likely it is that the Lakers are going to land that guy, right? Why do I keep talking about Zach LaVine? Why do I keep saying like, hey, the Lakers should focus on Zach LaVine? I like Zach LaVine. I mean, outside of, I just think Zach LaVine would be a better natural fit than Dejounte Murray. It's because there's no real competition, or it doesn't appear that there is any real competition. So to me, Zach LaVine, I do believe, is 100% obtainable for the Lakers. I do believe the Lakers could realistically go get Zach LaVine. What that deal entails, that I don't know, because we'll have to wait and see. But Zach LaVine is a guy that I look at and go, oh, the Lakers could absolutely get Zach LaVine. Dejounte Murray, on the other hand, it's tough. Now, what are teams willing to give up, and how much does Atlanta value, say, an Austin Reeves, right? So choose a team like the Knicks, for example, right? they have the draft picks. They have the assets that they could go, and they could just outbid us through assets. But how much do the Atlanta Hawks value some of their role guys or some of the players that they would have to take on, right? Is Atlanta okay with like Evan Fournier and 3 firsts, right? Or are they a team that goes, no, we'd rather have the players. We'd rather have the guys that can come in and not only help us now and this season, but for the foreseeable future, right? Because look, at the end of the day, draft picks are unpredictable, right? So do they look at it and go, okay, well, if we can get, I'd rather have the players or player that we're really high on rather than taking on like Evan Fournier and then, well, they just extended Quentin Grimes, so I don't think they could trade him. So it's like, who else do they have, right? So maybe like a Jericho Sims. Do they look at him and go, okay, well, he would be a young guy, right? Like what young pieces do a team like the Knicks have that may be intriguing, right? A McBride is another name that comes to mind that maybe could make sense. But outside of that, it's like, who else can the Knicks put into a deal to outbid us? Now, if they want picks, then the Knicks can handle that, right? Or a team like the Sixers. What young talent do they have that makes sense for Atlanta? Or are they okay with picks, right? Now, if you're talking about the Miami Heat, they have some very intriguing young pieces, right? I don't think Miami would part with Jaquez, but you never know. I mean, if they really think Dejounte Murray is the guy to put them over the top, would they? Right? Maybe they'd be really interested in him. I don't think that they would trade a Tyler Hero, but maybe they would, right? Again, at the end of the day, it just depends on what are other teams offering, right? And will the Lakers budge on Austin Reeves, right? If the Lakers are stronghold on, hey, we're not giving you Reeves, we're only going to give up a D'Lo or whatever, right? A Rui, and we'll give you like a Max Christie or something like that. That might not be enough to entice them, right? But if none of the other teams that are involved are offering anything significant other than picks, well, then maybe they'll go, okay, well, we would like the salary relief and we'd be okay with some of the young guys, right? Maybe Rui could be a piece we could build around, put him at the 4, right? So you have Johnson at 3, Rui at the 4, right? You got, Trae Young at the point, and then whatever other pieces that they do based on the various other trades that I'm sure that they're going to pull off. So to me, that's where it lies, right? Now, if the Lakers are willing to give up Austin Reeves, from the sound of things, again, we don't know for sure, but from the sound of things, it looks like Atlanta would be willing to trade Dejounte Murray for Austin Reeves. Obviously, there will be other factors that go into it, whatever those are. Now, if it's Austin Reeves, the 2029 first, and a pick swap, it just doesn't make sense for the Lakers because that means basically the only thing you're trading for is Dejounte Murray. But there have been reports that the Atlanta Hawks would be willing to include more than just Dejounte Murray if they could find the right deal, if they could work stuff out, because they want to clear some salary too. And they do have some guys that are on some longer deals, multi-year deals. So could the Lakers give up an Austin Reeves and also go get a Clint Capella and a Sadiq Bey, right? I think Sadiq Bey is definitely a guy the Lakers could acquire because, there were reports like a couple months ago even where it said that Atlanta is not going to re-sign Sadiq Bey, and Sadiq Bey very likely is going to leave, so that they were looking to move him at some point. Now, so if that's true, then I definitely think the Lakers could get Sadiq Bey. So could you get Bey and Murray for Austin Reeves and, say Jackson Hayes and Max Christie and, maybe the pick swap and keep the first? Because then you would have D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and a first to go do that. The Atlanta Hawks have the Sacramento first, right? So maybe you could throw the pick swap and get the Sacramento first to where now it's not a swap, it's an actual asset that can be used immediately, right? And now it's the Lakers would have D'Lo, Rui, Gabe Vincent, and 2 firsts to go and trade for some other pieces, right? Again, it just depends on what both sides would be willing to come to as far as agreement-wise goes. But the Lakers, more likely than not, if they want Dejounte Murray, they're going to have to trade Austin Reeves, which I'm okay with if there's more to it. Because if they just trade for Dejounte Murray and that's it, now what do you do? Is D'Lo just going to be your two guard? Right? Which he can be that, but he's best as like the point guard role, right? He has his struggles at time being the two. He's been great off the ball. His three-point shot when it's fallen is money, right? And maybe, right, if he knows like, okay, I'm not getting traded, maybe he'll buy in better and play better. But even then, like he could just leave in free agency. So it's like, yeah, the Lakers have to do other deals, right? If you go trade Austin Reeves and you go get Dejounte Murray, now there's no real need for D'Lo. Look, and I've talked about and made the argument to keep D'Lo over Austin Reeves, but for like a LaVine trade or something like that, right? If you're going to get that point guard, which is what Dejounte Murray is, if Dejounte Murray's going to be your point guard, then it doesn't really make sense to keep D'Lo, especially because you'd have Gabe Vincent, right? So yes, D'Lo could play the two, but where does he quite fit? I just think it could play for some awkwardness. So I think the Lakers would have to do another move. But my concern is that if another team really wants Dejounte Murray, then they're going to end up trading for Dejounte Murray, right? The Lakers, again, are just very limited. Unless they just really value Austin Reeves that high, right? Like if they look at Austin Reeves more than any of the Knicks young guys that they could give up or any of the Miami Heat young guys that they could give up, right? Especially if Miami is, determined to keep Jaquez, then I could see the Lakers maybe coming away with Dejounte Murray. The Hawks are going to sell Murray to the highest bidder, whoever that highest bidder is. I wish we knew a little more about like what conversations were, right, from some of these other teams, because the Lakers have made contact, but so have several other teams. So if we had an idea of like, okay, well, these teams are offering this, then I think it would be a little easier to gauge. But the problem is that we don't know. So it's like, I have my concerns and my reservations. I just don't want people to get their hopes up and expect, oh, that's it, the Lakers are getting Dejounte Murray. Is it a possibility? Absolutely. Of course it is. But is it something that is like as much of a lock as some people may think? No, I don't think so. Right? If another team really wants Dejounte Murray, then they'll probably go get Dejounte Murray. Right? So we will see. Time will tell. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Do you think like, yeah, look, it's very unlikely? Do you think, no, like the Lakers are going to land Dejounte Murray? The problem is Dejounte Murray, it's not like he's an expiring contract, right? He isn't even into his new deal yet. So that becomes a problem too, because he can't like manipulate where he wants to go. And you just have so many teams that are interested in him. I mean, even San Antonio has came out of the woodworks wanting him. And they have some pieces and draft picks and stuff. So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. But anyway, again, love to hear your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. Helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. Not subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.